So I noticed that Neil's got like this Duff McKagan Sting kind of thing going on. Not because he's similar to them in any way, but because they all play bass, and he also plays bass. So like, and Flea.
Yeah.
I mean, like, all those people that I just listed, they all play bass. So I noticed that.
Right. Yeah.
Including Neil.
Yeah, and I think they're always a fairly average height, but they always sort of overcompensating for the fact that they can't read very well.
Yeah.
Like Neil can read at like to be honest, like grade 2 level.
Oh, who can't?
So he wears those outfits.
Who can't?
Well, I mean, I'm not suggesting you can't.
No. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, like they read fairly well.
It is impressive.
Yeah, definitely. That was pretty good. What do you guys think about that?
I think if we can fix that bass slip up, that'll be very useful.
So come in here.
Yeah, I was going to say there's that, and then we can...
The thing that we mentioned right away was that there was a moment where it wasn't so much a bass slip up as there was just no bass.
Yeah, that was what happened. Like,
That's what happened is I missed
So,
a part.
but that can be added unless there's a sour note.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a listen and see
Well,
if
I think there was a sour note. I know I went to the wrong part, and that's why I stepped out.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were
Well,
going to
if
stop.
it's that case, then you can always just erase the bass.
Do you want to listen
Because-
to that
because
and see if it's like,
there's-
if it's punchable?
Well, for sure it is, because there's an empty space right before it's a da-da-da.
That's what I mean. It can be carried out.
Well, I was also going to say, like, we can do that, but we can. I would like to do one more take just for...
Yeah, but
All right,
let's
let's do it right now.
You want to just do a take really quickly?
Yeah, I think that...
Okay.
I think we can get it, and then we'll have, like, 3 really usable takes.
And then we can get to work on the meat of the
everything
songs
else.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
All right,
so let's,
go for it, guys.
get it right on.
Seriously,
It was kind of awkward. I thought is that an argument?
you can. It's weird in this band because
You guys always fight like that?
Yeah, it's hard because they don't respect each other.
I see that. No, it's very confrontational.
And like
Very confrontational.
Sometimes it could seem as though
I mean, you can get your point across, but you don't have to do it like that. Like,
there's always a way to get your point across. Especially more civil, you know.
So now you see what I'm saying. Neil, Flea, Sting, Duff McKagan.
Can barely read. So we figured out now they all play bass. They all can barely read. They all wear pointlessly tight pants when they have these fat bubble butts. These disgusting bubble butts.
The other thing is, Neil's always saying that thing. He's always like, "Ready, guys?
Ready, guys?
Ready?"
As though he's the only one that can suggest it's time to be ready.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but.
And from your position, like, it's awkward for you because we might want to come back and work with you.
Well, yeah.
But
and that out there, what just happened, it was totally awkward.
I'm gonna have
I was
to
just like,
give-
you guys can have musical differences,
Yeah.
but
I'm gonna have to have a talk with Neil, I think, separately. I think maybe Paul and Tom are gonna have to have a talk separately. Then I'm gonna take Paul aside and have a private talk with him.
And then earlier, like, Paul was playing bass, and I could then see the similarity between him and other people that play bass.
Like, there's that guy in Paul McCartney's band when Paul McCartney plays piano. That guy plays bass. There's a guy that plays bass that isn't Paul McCartney.
I can see that. I can see that.
There's this band called Green Day who actually has they have a bass player.
It's not. Is it Mike Dirnt?
I believe his name is Mike Dirnt.
Billy Joe Armstrong, Mike Dirnt, and Trey Cool.
Yeah, maybe the worst names. Maybe the worst names for band members. But one of them plays bass, and I noticed that. I think you're right. Like I didn't think about this before, but earlier Paul was playing the bass.
I'm a big fan of like the pioneers of punk, like the founders of punk. You know, Green Day.
Yeah,
I
like
remember
Green Day
when they
and,
invented punk.
Blink-182.
So I remember when they invented punk in 1994.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, it's like this is punk in its
it was really
early days.
Impressive and like you get that American singer sounding like he's British. Really impressive, you know. If I really think about it now, it was very impressive.
It's like 1993. There was no punk, and then Dookie came out.
It's like
oh, well, new genre.
Here's the
new
punk.
genre.
Here's the punk. Yeah. Very impressive. Very impressive. But yeah, you're right. Paul does play the bass.
Well, he even looks like Mike Dirnt a little bit.
Yeah, like, very similar complexion.
To be fair, he looks like more like himself. but if you look more like Mike Dirnt, that's who he would resemble.
He would-
I would think.
If he didn't look so much like Paul and look more like Mike Dirnt, somebody could look at him and say, isn't it funny that that bass player looks like this other bass player I know from Green Day named Mike Dirnt?
Or if Paul was in Green Day and Mike Dirnt was in your band, they would switch that all around. They'd be like,
They'd be
you know,
like,
he looks like him.
whoa.
He looks like him.
Wouldn't it be, no, but
He
then,
plays bass in that band.
then you and I would be in here and be like, wouldn't it be weird if Mike Dirnt looked more like Paul from Green Day?
know.
Because then people could walk up to him and say, hey, that looks like Paul from Green Day. But it's really just Mike Dirnt from Gay.